Welcome to the Sports Debate, where we debate the NFL, but mainly the Eagles. Coin toss, Royce. Call it in the air.
Tails.
Tails. Yeah, you can't. It's tails, so you're first. All right. First question. Which stretch of the upcoming schedule is the biggest test for the Eagles?
Truthfully, I'll say these first four. The stretch that we in right now is probably the toughest stretch of our schedule. Mainly because Eagles don't practice during the preseason. Don't play anybody during the preseason. So they use these first four games like it's their preseason. So if you can go through this stretch and there's not really any cakewalk, any soft teams during the stretch, but if you can get through this stretch, just say 4-0, while you're learning your team, you're ahead of the curve. There's no other stretch during the season that can match up to this. I don't think so.
I would say coming into the season, at this point, it's probably then, because traditionally, the Eagles usually do not start off hot. We really haven't seen them start off hot. I mean, even last year, we go against the Browns, and we win, 20-16? That was week 8, and that looked pretty vanilla as well. But this year, really after this, you got the Rams, going to be a revenge game for them. Buccaneers at Buccaneers, that is almost guaranteed a loss. But I'd probably say the toughest stretch is going to be weeks 10 through 14. You come out of the bye, you're anticipated to have a relatively good record at that point. I'd probably say worst case scenario, 2 losses. You have Rams, Bucks, Denver, Giants, Vikings, Giants. Vikings don't scare me. Giants twice. Denver, very good defense, but is a game we should pull out on. But then you come out of the bye and you got the Packers. You got the Lions. You got the Cowboys at Cowboys. You got the Bears, which should be a victory, but isn't any guarantee. And then you got the Chargers, who look almost reinvented with their pass game. And they also have a very good defense as well. That's got to be the toughest stretch of the year for us, because at that point, that's when you're starting to solidify yourself as either the winner of the NFC East or a playoff team alone. It's got to be coming out of the bye.
Can I rebuttal? So I like that. That's cool. But here's why I say the first 4 is more of a stretch, because the first 4, you're learning your team. You're learning what you got. By the time we hit week 10, week 11, week 12, we already know what we got. We'll be rolling by then. Yeah, the Packers is a tough game. The Vikings might be a tough game. But them 2 Giant games, we basically own the Giants.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying after the bye. So weeks 10 through 14, when we have Packers, then Lions, Cowboys, Bears, Chargers.
Okay.
But even after that, too, the whole second half of the season is incredibly hard. The only team that I look at there that should be a near guaranteed win is the Raiders. And then after that, you go Commanders, Bills, Commanders. So honestly, the whole second half of the season is incredibly difficult.
That's it. All right. Time's up. Good round. Second question. Start with you. Which Eagle player not named Jalen Hurts will be the biggest X factor determining how far this team will go?
You got to put it for Saquon Barkley on offense, because the way our offense looked the past 2 weeks, I kind of anticipate or hope it's kind of compared to like Penn State. You go into these easy games and you're obviously not showing off all your big guns. You kind of hope it'll be that. But if you have no Saquon Barkley factoring at all, then the game's totally different. But after looking at yesterday's game, I'd probably say the X factor could be the rookie, Andrew Makuba. That was crazy. You lose a guy like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, and you're like, how do you replace him? He plays exactly like him, but younger, possibly better. Secondary is massive. We already know what we can expect out of our D-line. But a guy in this deep secondary like that, who can be a disruptor, get turnovers, even got a sack, and he was there in a second. The only reason it wasn't a full sack is because the Darius Smith was right there, who I also love as a great pickup. But I would probably say it's could be Makuba. 1B would be like Jahad Campbell. Both rookies were incredible.
Well, look like this is gonna be much of a debate because I can't argue against anything he's saying. Those was my points. Those was my points. I mean, Makuba, like, what more can you say about Makuba? Like, I said it from the beginning of the season, like, I thought he should start over Sydney. And since he's been in, he's done nothing but be around the ball. You know what I mean? Yesterday, look at yesterday's game. He get trucked by Patrick Mahomes, comes back, lay the wood on Hollywood Brown. Johnny on the spot for the interception. And that interception really is when the game changed. Because once that interception happened and he runs it back 45 yards, the Eagles take complete control over the game. They take off another 6 minutes off the clock. You know what I mean? They take another 6 minutes off the clock, and then they get down and they go for the go-ahead touchdown. But without the interception, who knows if Kansas City scores right there, how that game turns out. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, Jahad, I can't get enough. It's amazing to me how he has struck gold these last 4 first and second round picks in a row. We go literally since Jalen Hurts, since the second pick and that after Rager, since Jalen Hurts, every first or second round pick from all of those years until now has all been hits. And like 85% of it is on the defense.
The only one in the first round that I would argue on would be is the obvious pick from when we picked Jordan Davis would have been Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
I was Kyle Hamilton all the way. Now, Jordan Davis, I mean, he's been playing well this year so far. He obviously lost a ton of weight finally because he was incapable of being on the field. Yeah. You hope he turns into something. Obviously, I don't foresee him ever being remotely close to being equivalent as Kyle Hamilton and what he provides. But aside from that, I mean, you go and you get Carter and Nolan Smith, bang, both hits. Yeah.
I agree.
Quinyon and Coop, bang, both hits.
I agree.
Right now, Campbell was a top 15 guy, but everyone was concerned about his shoulder.
And then he makes it back.
That's where Howie strikes his gold. Everyone's like, this guy's an injury risk. This guy's an injury risk. And then Howie goes and gets him in that late value, and he comes and he's right on the field.
But he don't even miss any training camp. He comes and he's right ready for training camp and right into the season. And it's like he never missed the beat. Like the first game, he's running up in the middle of the field, breaking touchdown plays up, like at the linebacker position. Like this is something that us as Philadelphia fans, we have dreamed about linebackers being this type of way. And now we got 2 of them on the field.
I don't forget. I think when Nakobe comes back, Vic's going to go to a 4-3.
But yeah, because that's the only way Nakobe could get on the field because you're not taking Campbell off the field.
No, but I think we knew that. I think we knew Nakobe is great, and I think he has potential to be an awesome linebacker, especially in coverage. And he's very good at being a field general, but injuries. Yeah. Can't pay injuries.
Yeah.
Ready? All right. Good exchange. Next question. We're just warming up here. All right. We're going to get to the more combative stuff. All right. So, is this team built to peak at the right time, or are there cracks that could get wider by December?
All right. I don't want to jump the gun here, but it's things that I've seen through the first 2 weeks where I'm like, I might got to pull your foul. Like your foul might got to go on the desk. And I'm talking about Kevin Patullo. Like this offense, the week 1, it kind of looked good because you come out your first 4 drive, you get points off all 4 of your possessions on your first 4 drives. Cool. Then that was a wonky game. A lot of stuff happened, like the weather delay and all that. And then it got stagnant. But to come into week 2 and your offense just still can't get it going, like you did get AJ back in the game as far as targets or whatever, but their targets for like 4 targets for like 36 yards. Like that's doing nothing. Like where is your down the field? Where's your down the field offense? Or where is your crossing offense? Like something it has to be more consistency in this passing game. And Kevin Patullo is what I think may be the issue holding us up going forward.
I'd probably say, yeah. I mean, You look at tape from yesterday, and it's like, everyone's like, Jalen Hurts has 100 passing yards. Jalen Hurts has, 152? It's 152 and 1, I think, with the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you watch video, and it's like,
There's nothing
who's
open.
But there was another very obvious position where we are hurting, will be hurting, and are going to be hurting in the offseason. And that's tight end.
Absolutely.
You look at Kyle Granson yesterday, no pass rush pickup. Grant Calcaterra, the very first play on offense, you see AJ come across behind the O-line in motion and shoots right down the field. He splits both corners and is wide open for a deep touchdown. And you see Jalen's eyeballs are right on him.
Can't get it there, though.
Grant Calcaterra lets whoever's out on the outside edge go right up.
That's why he can't get it there. Yeah.
So I would say tight end. I mean, at the same time, I probably would have told you edge, but I think the addition of Zadarius Smith is going to be essentially perfect. Linebacker is fine. Safety is fine. Could definitely use a corner who is not a Dory Jackson. I was telling Big Rich 2 weeks ago, there's a guy who I would probably bet money will end up in an Eagles jersey at the trade deadline. And it's
Isaiah
Denzel
Rodgers?
Ward from the Browns. They just restructured his contract to make it all guarantees and not, salary. But like they're just at a point right now where their team really can't afford to just pay a corner. You have so many other concerns.
Let me ask you a question. So if that is the case with Denzel Ward, why would you wait till the trade deadline? Why not make it happen now?
Because we probably wouldn't have made these other moves. You have to figure out your salary at some point. We went into week 1 and you pick Zadarius Smith up at the very first opportunity that you can. And now the Cowboys, like the same thing with the Cowboys, they have to fall back on Jadeveon Clowney. And who are you taking, Jadeveon Clowney or Zadarius Smith?
Zadarius Smith all day.
Yep, they had the same issue, and we swooped right in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Tank Bigsby trade is going to bring to us, but
He didn't even get no burn yesterday, did he?
well, no, he didn't get on there at all. I mean, they say they have him for a return, but it was Mechie who was out there, and we really didn't look good there either.
Yeah.
Special teams could be a hole. Yeah, Howie's always got a plan, you know what I'm saying? He does something somewhere at some point, pretty much.
And how we trust, right?
All the time, yeah.
Next question. The tush push. After yesterday's game, what do we think the status will be by next year this time?
I don't know if you can continuously try and formally make a case to ban a play year over year over year. They just went through the whole entire process. I really have no idea if they're able to do the exact same thing again next year. I would assume probably not. I would assume it kind of carries some kind of duration. Yesterday you see it and you can obviously say all right, maybe there should have been a false start. But how many times do you look at guys who are lined up in the neutral zone? How many times do you see a helmet that's across the line? How many times do you see a hand that's across the line? That one specific play they're saying was a false start. You see the D lineman enter the neutral zone right away. It literally is bang boom when Steen moves and that lineman move, but he goes to punch the ball before they snap.
Punch the ball was crazy.
It's just one of those plays that you can't stop. But here's the thing with the tush push. And this is essentially what would have been the ruling for the ban is they would have made it, I think it was a 10-yard penalty. If any player at any time is pushed from another player from behind to, get more yards, if you run a traditional quarterback sneak, you still can't tell me there's not going to be a better team that can run a quarterback sneak than the Eagles. Yeah. You get a push from the back, obviously that probably puts it at 92% or however much it is. But I can't sit here and tell you that we still wouldn't get a quarterback sneak done 70% of the time.
Well, like you said, I don't know if that will be back on the table, but my guess is if it's back on the table this offseason coming up, they're going to 100% ban it. They're going to 100% ban it.
Do you think the official on Fox saying he's tired of it?
Dean Blandino? Yeah, I absolutely do. And it was said on national TV. That was the game of the week. Everybody's watching that game. So for him to say that is like already giving it credence and license to let's go ahead and get this play out the game. You know what I mean? Did you hear that?
I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want to bring up another point. If we're gonna find Nolan Smith and penalize him for flexing over Miles Sanders for a tackle, why are we not giving a taunting penalty for Travis Kelce for juggling his sack on live TV two
Yeah.
times?
That was crazy.
That's
was crazy.
like I sit there and look at that and I'm like, I get it, but that's more vulgar, especially for like younger fans too. And like that's on live
wanna know why?
TV twice.
You want to know
This
why?
is Travis Kelce.
Because that's Mr. Swift.
But like if you're gonna crack, you're right. If you're gonna crack down on taunting and you're gonna have someone get penalized 15 yards for a flex, but not someone juggling their sack across the field.
I mean, even if you, I don't know if you've seen the Cowboys game yesterday. Even in the Cowboys game yesterday, CD Lamb goes for a touchdown, and it's an incomplete pass, but he gets pass interference on the pass. On the play. So he's on the ground and he's like pointing at the DB or whatever. He got a taunting call for that, but you don't give Kelce a taunting call for juggling his sack. Like that's insane. But there we go again. That's the NFL catering to the Swifties.
the rough in the passer too. Where
That
they
was
got the
BS.
17 points.
That was BS.
That was crazy.
That was BS. That was BS.
What hits the back of his helmet? But like, how can you say that's a roughing the passer from a finger grazing the back of a helmet? Obviously, it's if his helmet's not touched, it's clean. But the second a finger touches the back of his helmet, it's a roughing the passer, and you're really going to change the narrative of the game over a call like that.
He barely touched him. Mahomes went down by himself. If you go back and look at the replay, Mahomes went down by himself. He barely touched him. That was a bullshit call, and that was a call to try to keep the Chiefs in the game, which it did because it ultimately led into the Thornton touchdown.
It would have been 4th and 14.
No, they was coming off the field.
That's what I'm saying. It would have been 4th and 14.
Yep. Crazy.
Next question, more general to the NFL itself. Adam, who were you most surprised with in the NFL after 2 weeks?
That's pretty obvious. It's the Colts. I honestly don't understand it. I mean, they're the first team in the first 2 weeks to not have to punt at all. Now you look at it, and they did turn the ball over on downs twice, but this is Daniel Jones. This is Daniel Jones. Like we saw Daniel Jones for how many years in New York, and disregarded play calling. Like looked like he was incapable of even being a viable quarterback, and that team is just running on all cylinders at this point. It's got to be the Colts. They just beat down Denver.
I'm trying to figure out how this is a debate when our mindsets are exactly the same. Like, you got to be a fool not to say Daniel Jones is the biggest surprise. Like, who is that guy? We've seen him in New York for 6 years. We've never seen him play like that. The best we've seen Daniel Jones do is break a scramble and run for 65 yards and trip over his own feet before he. It's looking like it's the New York Giants.
You know what that also?
Because it looked like Steichen got Daniel Jones to be a player. He looks like a player. What they put up, 30 plus both weeks?
You know what that also means? Anthony Richardson is really bad.
Absolutely. If Daniel Jones go there and look like a star, that's a super indictment on that young man.
Anthony Richardson, it's really bad. I mean, I look at it too, like, I mean, these are AFC teams we're talking about. Like, let's talk about like the NFC teams who scare me. I mean, the 49ers are now without Purdy.
For what, 6 weeks? 4 to 6 weeks?
I saw like 2 to 5, but Mac Jones, I guess, wasn't awful, but they played the Saints.
Yeah.
The Vikings, who I thought were going to be, honestly, almost like fail-proof, considering you see what Sam Darnold did for them. J.J. McCarthy looks lost.
He don't take care of the ball.
The Lions showed life yesterday, which was great too. I mean, I don't even know why I said great. It's not great. But the Lions showed life, so the Lions are still going to be the Lions. Commanders have not looked good at all. The Packers have looked a lot better on defense. I still think that team is too uncompetitive at like their receiver position. Like Michael Golden is, I mean, he was good at, where was he? Tennessee. He was great there. He hasn't had anything yet. I mean, Dontavian Wicks is Dontavian Wicks. You have no Jaden Reed. Now you have no Christian Watson. Romeo Dobbs can be something. I mean, Tucker Kraft looks like he could be one of the next better tight ends, but that's still a team that like I look at and I'm like, I'm just waiting for Jordan Love to make his mistake.
That's exactly my mindset right there. As far as like the Packers is okay, but I'm not a Love fan. Like I don't love the love. You know what I mean? Like I don't see where everybody gives Jordan Love all this praise that he's so great, but when I watch him play, I don't see the greatness. Like I see an okay quarterback. I'm not saying he trash. I'm not saying he what Daniel Jones was last year, not this year, last year, but I just don't know how everybody says that he is just the second coming of Aaron Rodgers or anything to that nature.
It's
for the Packers.
Rams and Bucks.
Next question. Last question. But top 5 quarterbacks in the league, rank them. 5 the lowest to 1. You start.
I mean, there's so many factors. I've had this conversation so many times. And coming into the year, it was obvious. Now, obviously, even into week 2, you have some issues. Like, Joe Burrow is now going to be out until December. So can I fairly put him in top 5 at this point? Like, does he qualify for it? Because coming into the season, I probably put him at like 2.
Factor all that in.
So factor where we are at week 2.
Week 2, give me your top 5 quarterbacks.
In season right now. Okay.
Lamar has been insane. I mean, he had a terrible game yesterday, but you still have to put Josh Allen there. I mean, I would love to put Jalen Hurts in there. I think this is truly like one of the first years where it's not Jalen Hurts, it's being inhibited by his play. Like there's truly no one open. Like there's not people open. The play calling isn't really geared to giving him the numbers.
Play design.
I'd say strictly by the sense that he knows how to win a game and he is 16-0, and now his last 16 starts, you can't really not put him up there. So I'll put him at 5. I'll fairly put him at 5, I'd say. Another quarterback up there. I mean,
so your 5 is
that's tough. Honestly, like I really would love to with no Burrow, I'd love to put someone like Baker up there. Baker Mayfield. I love Baker Mayfield. I said this last year, like one of my hot takes was I think the Eagles would have done the same thing with more glorified passing yards with Baker Mayfield on the team too. I just think that dude's a gamer. I think he knows how to play. And then I'd probably still put Mahomes up there just because you kind of have to. I mean, he's 0-3, but I think I'm trying to think of any other quarterback that really deserves to get an increased bump.
You might as well put Daniel Jones in there.
Let's not. I would have had Jaden Daniels at 6, but he just had 2 bad games.
Yeah.
I mean, Herbert's played 1 game and he looked great, but I can't put him there yet because tonight hasn't happened. You don't know. Stafford has been okay. Dak has been okay. Jordan Love has been good, I guess, but I wouldn't put him up there in the 5. And I'd probably say it's Lamar, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, and Baker.
Okay. Now, in season, right now, not period, it's right now. So, number 1 for me would be Lamar, because in both games, he wasn't the reason they lost, and, he's more of the reason why they won yesterday. So, it would be Lamar, number 1. I don't know if I'll put Mahomes in there because in both of their losses, his arm really hasn't been the thing. It's been his legs that kept them competitive in both of those games.
Who can you say the same thing about, though?
Yeah, Jalen. But that's why Jalen, normally Jalen would be, for me, Jalen would be number 1 or number 2. But we talking about in season. So I'm gonna be fair. So Lamar, Josh, of course, Josh. And I know tonight ain't happened yet, but I like what I seen out of Herbert last week. I like what I seen out of him, and I think tonight is going to be like a continuation of that. I don't feel like he's going to take a step back tonight. So I'm gonna put Herbert in there. So we got Lamar, we got Josh, we got Herbert.
You said you're going to have Jalen.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's tough to put him in there, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a single turnover-worthy play.
But I'm gonna keep Jalen. I'm gonna put Jalen in there just
And he's
cause.
2-0.
But he's Jalen's gonna be 5. Jalen's gonna be 5. And 4, it's tough, man. Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna throw Daniel Jones in there.
All right, last question. Power rankings after week 2. Top 5 teams in the NFL.
I gotta bring that up.
Yeah, you gotta give me some standings here real quick. I mean, I'm gonna put Eagles back at number 1 only because we were 1 going into the season. We just beat 2 very good teams.
And we're reigning, so we number 1 till we lose. That's in my book.
I'm gonna go Bills number 2. So Eagles, Bills. Oh man, Eagles, Bills. I'll probably still put the Ravens there, even though they lost. Number 4 is probably going to be Packers. Number 4 is probably Packers. I mean, I want to put Lions there, but yesterday was awesome, but they looked terrible versus Green Bay. And the thing is Green Bay is supposed to be a good team, and the Bears are not.
You said top 5?
Put the Rams at 5. So I have Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Packers, and Rams. Right?
Okay.
Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Packers, Rams.
Okay. So our first 2 is exactly the same. Eagles, Bills. I'll give you that. I want to say Cincinnati, but Burrow got hurt, so I'll give Rams 3 because they are 2-0. So Eagles, Bills, Rams, Packers, Ravens. That's what I'll go.
So it's the same thing. You just have Rams higher than.
Yeah, just switch it up.
Damn.
I like the Rams. I like the Rams over. Packers.
Okay.
All right, and then let me get one more question in here. Very early Super Bowl predictions after just 2 weeks.
I mean, I got to go Eagles back again. Like I said, even if they don't look pretty, we just know how to win. And then, we put them in the rankings. There's going to be really 2 teams that stand out to me. It would be
Bills, Ravens. Yeah, it's gonna be one of them. Bills or Ravens. Beginning of the season, I lean towards.
I was probably leaning the same way regardless.
Yeah, beginning of the season, I lean more to Eagles, Ravens, Super Bowl. So I think I'm gonna stay with that.
You know what's crazy too? I really want to say obviously the Chiefs. But that's a tough division now.
Think about it. That division now,
Especially if the Chargers start 2-0.
That division now has 4 coaches who won Super Bowls.
They do not have an easy schedule the rest of the year. I mean, they go and play the Giants next week. You would anticipate that they probably beat the Giants, even though the Giants just played great. But then you go to Ravens. Nothing there tells me the Ravens should not win. Then you go Jaguars, and even that's a competitive game. Then you go Lions, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Broncos, Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders.
Got dark for them real quick. Got dark for them.
I mean, being a betting man, I would anticipate they find some way to get there. But seeing the first 2 weeks, it definitely looks more bleak than normal. And they just lost to the Chargers week 1 too, and their 21 did not look as smooth as the Chargers 27.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like they might be my surprise to get the boot. Because Denver's still good too. They have a great defense. They have a very young offense. And the Raiders,
They got Pete
I
Carroll
mean,
and
I
Geno
would love
now.
to say that the Raiders stink, but you
They
got
got
Bowers,
Pete Carroll and Geno now.
You got Geno, Bowers, Jacoby Myers is no one to, move past. Ginty, Max Crosby, but they got no secondary. So their defense is going to be their issue.
I need Genty to go off, by the way, just for my fantasy purposes, but whatever. I need him to go off tonight.
All right, thank you for the first episode of Sports Debate, even though it was more of an agreeance of opinions. But thank you for joining, Royce, Adam.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Till
Go
next
Birds.
time.